Not surprisingly, the auto company known for its handling and reliability also has the best gas mileage. Honda, the most fuel-efficient auto company in America.
Hello and welcome. This is Tech 101. I'm Eric Hesseldahl, Senior Tech Writer here at BusinessWeek.com. This is our segment where we answer your questions about technology. The email inbox is open. The address is tech101@businessweek.com. Send us your questions. No question is too small. Our first question this week comes from Melinda in Baltimore, and she writes, my third grade daughter uses computers a lot at school and now wants to do instant messaging and chat with her school friends from home. I'd like to let her do this, but I'd also like to set some limits on what she can do online. Do you have any suggestions? Melinda, you're certainly not alone. I hear this question from parents all the time, and I do have some suggestions. First off, there's no substitute for being actively engaged with your children and knowing what they do online. Second, you want to set some ground rules. Make sure they know what they can and can't do. Third, you want to make those ground rules negotiable. But finally, you'll also want to impose some limits. Now let's talk about how we impose those limits. There's a new product on the market just this week called ChildSafe. It's from Webroot. You may have heard me talk about them about spyware before. The program is essentially designed to help you set some time limits and some access limits for your children. So you can get it at Best Buy. It's $40. And let's take a look at what it does. Now, one of the most important things that this program does is it enforces time limits that you can set for your children, and that's a pretty easy process to set up. You click on the hours of the day that you want them to have access and hours of the day when you don't. Hours of the day are highlighted when they can use it, are highlighted in green. Hours of the day when they can't are highlighted in red. A few more features about this program. It filters objectionable content that your kids may find on the web. And best of all, it's impossible for them to make any changes without your administrative password. So that's one of the great complaints about these programs, is that the kids can get around it. They're not going to get around this one. So what if you have a Mac? Well, as it happens, there's a lot of features built directly into the Mac OS that let you control who your kids have contact with and what websites they can take a look at. So let's take a look. You can see I've set up an account here for myself and for Billy. And since I'm the administrator, I'm going to log in as myself first so I can show you exactly where all these configurations happen. So bring up network preferences, system preferences, the account screen, and this is where everything happens. So you can see here we can configure Billy's account, and here's the parental control screen. And for instance, Billy likes to send email, but I only want him to be able to send email to Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, Uncle Donnie, Sister Susie, and his friend Scotty down the street. If he wants to ask permission to send email to anybody else, he has to send an email to Mom and or to Dad. One thing the Mac's parental controls don't do yet is the scheduling features, kind of like what I showed you with Webroot before. That kind of feature is coming in Leopard, which is a forthcoming version of the Mac OS, which should be out sometime next year, probably by the summer, I would say. So you'll be able to impose some scheduling limitations just the same way I showed you earlier on a Windows computer. So once again, on Windows, that was Webroot ChildSafe. It's $40. It's available at Best Buy and from Webroot.com. And some of the parental control features I've shown you here are already built into the Macintosh OS. So that wraps it up for Tech 101 this week. Remember to send us your questions. The address is tech101@businessweek.com. And remember, technology should be easy, and when it's not your fault. See you next week.
Not surprisingly, the auto company known for its handling and reliability also has the best gas mileage. Honda, the most fuel-efficient auto company in America.